The war against fentanyl rages on in Colorado. In 2020, more than 65% of all overdose deaths in the state were linked to fentanyl. Some of those who died were children. Denver 7 and our Scripps News investigative team is digging into cases of child fentanyl poisoning deaths in which no one has been criminally held responsible.
And some of them are right here in Colorado. National investigative reporter Lori Jane Gleham has the latest in her investigative series.
This was Serenity Hernandez. She died in Avondale, Arizona. This one's from Washington. There's cases from Florida. This case is involving a 1-year-old who died in 2020. She died in 2020. No one was held accountable. So this is the child fatality report. This case is still in limbo. The child died of fentanyl poisoning. This is a 4-year-old, a little boy. He died in 2020. He was 2 years old. He died in Tolleson. All of these folders represent a child who died, whose case was never criminally prosecuted.
For more than 2 years, we've been investigating child fentanyl poisonings. Some cases end with people going to prison.
You are under arrest.
Someone has been held accountable.
Sentenced to 45 years, 20 years in prison.
But other cases don't make the news, and no one is arrested or prosecuted. Our Scripps News investigation found at least 43 cases nationwide of children who died more than a year ago in which no one has been charged.
Scripps News Group's Lori Jane Gleham in the studio tonight. So nice to see you, first of all. Why aren't more charges coming out of these cases?
Well, some of these cases are not suspicious to start with. Nobody guesses that a child would have fentanyl. So the investigation is sometimes delayed, and then you have to wait for toxicology reports, which sometimes can take weeks or months. And another issue that slows down these cases or makes it difficult is that if a kid is living in a house with a lot of adults, or if they have several adult caregivers, the police have to pinpoint who was responsible for that fentanyl. How did the child access it? And it can be very difficult when there's a lot of adults involved.
It's very complicated. What have you been able to learn about the unsolved cases here in Colorado?
Yeah, guys, several of the cases we've been tracking have been here in Colorado.
Yeah.
There were 2 in Aurora where children died more than a year ago. One of those cases is still being considered or reviewed by prosecutors in Arapahoe County. Another case involves a little boy named Bryce Wilhite Jr. He's 1 year old. He died in 2020. And police yesterday talked to us about this, saying they are hoping that the public, if they have any clues, even how small they may be, they are hoping that they might get some more information on this case and provide it. And they're even encouraging people to call Crime Stoppers.
And I know this is sort of overly broad for you to answer, but are most people on board with the level of punishment being doled out?
You know what? There's lots of disparities, and that happens around the country. Even in Colorado, we've seen a parent who's been sentenced to prison for more than a decade, and then we've seen when their child died, and then we've also seen parents who have had a child die who, ended up getting probation. And we've seen disparities across the country. I've talked about this before too. Some cases we've seen children survive and they've gotten decades behind bars. So there is a disparity even within jurisdictions we've seen sometimes. So lots of different ways to handle these cases.
Yeah.
Still, more accountability needs to happen.
Right.
Lori Jane Gleham for us tonight. Thank you, Lori Jane.
Thank you.
That was only a portion of our investigation. You can read more about the challenges law enforcement and prosecutors face in these cases online. Just scan the QR code on your screen. Follow along as the Scripps News investigative team shines a light on the cracks in the system meant to protect the most vulnerable in our communities.